If your email revenue is stuck between 10 and 20%, here are the 7 things I will do to take that to 44%. We just did this with an e-commerce brand whose account was being managed by another agency, and we managed to take email sales from 23% of total sales to 44% of total sales. Let me show you exactly what we did. Now, this strategy has worked in different industries, from supplements to clothing to gadgets, from $8,000 saunas to $8 condoms, and from list of 1 million subscribers to as little as 5,000 subscribers. And this process, like clockwork, allow us to get email revenue sometimes as high as 44%. So this is a screenshot from Klaviyo, capturing the last 3-month data, so you know this is not a fluke. And this is the before. Just 23% of sales coming from email, up to 44. Now, if this is your first time here, I'm Matthias Perelli, the founder of Email Engineers. We are an elite email marketing agency, and we are summoned whenever an e-com brand needs to scale their email revenue beyond what the internal team or other agencies can do. We've made over $20 million in sales tracked through Klaviyo, and that is enough for me for now. So let's get started with the first step, and this has nothing to do with email, yet it has everything to do with how much you can scale your email sales. And this is number 1, pop-ups, and especially not just pop-up, but better pop-ups, higher converting pop-ups. So the pop-ups is where everything begins. Now, this means not setting up just any pop-up. I will show you a good pop-up in just a second, one that we use with all of our clients. It's super simple, and that's why we use it. But it's about improving what you already have. You probably have already a pop-up in place. This is just about making them better, whether that's setting up tests to improve conversion rate from 4 to 5%, or from 2% to 4%, or from 3% to 4. Because sometimes just a small change can double your conversion rate. And that literally means twice as many eyeballs seeing the exact emails that you're already creating. So let me show you an actual example. This is from a past client, and this is the process that, if you can see, it's very straightforward. We don't make it fancy at all. The first screen is what we call a commitment or a pre-commitment screen. We just ask whether they want the discount, yes or no. It's just a simple question. If they click yes, which most do, then they're way more likely to give you their email address. It's a psychological principle. And after they do, we ask for their mobile number after they've given us their email. And for the same reason, they're more likely to give us their mobile number after they've given us their email and after they've said yes to the offer we made. So this converts very high. Try it, adapt your current pop-up to this style. It is going to convert way better, guaranteed. So this is the first step, and it is optimizing what you already have in place. If you optimize your pop-ups, everything that I'm going to teach you now is gonna get amplified, if it makes sense. Now, the next step that I'm about to share is often misunderstood, yet is one of our best secrets. And that is number 2, very simply, create better designs. And let me tell you exactly why this is important. So to the left, we have, this is from Video Propack, a category leading brand in the work bag industry. And to the left, the previous email, as you can see, it's really ugly, follows no conversion principles, so this is barely readable on a mobile device. To the right is just one of the many emails we created for them. But as you can see, just from a quick glance, from a quick overview, the email to the right is most likely on brand in what, and most importantly, what you would expect from a brand of this category. So this inspires trust, this email. This one, not as much. You will think they don't care, or that they were hacked, or that this was like a scam email, right? If you're buying from a brand like this, which is a category leading brand, they send you an email like this. You say, maybe I'm getting fished. Like this cannot be a real email from them. So very simple. Step 2 is making your emails look more legit, making them look prettier. Now, good design alone is not enough. I'm going to show you why in a moment, but it's still one of the most overlooked elements. Moving to the third step. And before I do, I want to tell you a story. So I have an uncle and he has a dog and it's a Labrador. And a few years ago, he got very, very sick. He took Bonnie, the Labrador, to the vet and he recommended some pills, some antibiotic pills for him to get. And of course, my uncle went and bought this at the vet shop and tried to give it to Bonnie. You know, he opened his mouth like trying to fight a monster. Of course, he couldn't. Like, he sensed that something was about to happen. So, I don't know, maybe the smell of the pill or whatever. So, he wouldn't eat the pill. He needed the pill, but yet he wouldn't eat the pill. Now, he called the vet. He told them what was going on. And the vet told my uncle, you're not trying to just give him the pill like with your hand, right? And my uncle asked, why? Well, there's no way that the dog is going to eat it that way. He's not going to consume it. So what I recommend, he said, just wrap it in ham, then give the pill to him between, and he's just going to eat it. And my uncle did it. And of course, Bonnie ate that ham thinking it was just regular food. And, you know, he got his medicine. And here's how this relates to increasing your email revenue. Point number 3, step number 3 is ham emails. And this comes from the realization that we often try to give people what they need versus what they really want. And what is it that people want? People want to be entertained. And there is a lot of ways to do that. Let me show you an actual email. This is from a brand that sells lighting supplies. And the email begins with, are you familiar with these guys? They are known as the Three Stooges, and they had, arguably, one of the best TV and movie comedy careers to date. However, in one episode, one of the Three Stooges aired in 1940, something unexpected took place. See, in this episode, the Stooges were actually on the run from the law because, well, they were fishing for trout in an aquarium of a pet store, and then just explained the situation a little bit. Driving away, they found themselves on the grounds of a huge mansion. Luckily for them, the mansion owner was expecting plumbers to fix some issues. Mistaking the Stooges for the actual plumbers, the butler let them in. Grave mistake. Despite having no experience or knowledge of plumbing whatsoever, the Stooges decided to go along with the misunderstanding to hide from the cops, and so they started to work on the mansion plumbing. However, the lack of plumbing experience resulted in a hilarious real-world disaster. One of the Stooges creating an impromptu indoor fountain by connecting way too many pipes to a shower, ending with this. This caused a huge problem. See, the set was designed to control the water flow, but during the filming, the pressure was too much and the water ended up flooding the entire set. The water not only soaked the actors, but also the crew and equipment. This cost the production team thousands of dollars in replacement and repairs, not to mention delays due to a wrecked set. The story carries one important lesson. Always be prepared for anything. Even a meticulously planned event can go wrong. That is why at Byron Electric we make sure you can stay fully prepared for whatever your project throws at you. Light fixtures only break, bought the wrong LED, need an emergency piece to make the project come together? No worries. With over 80,000 SKUs and speedy delivery, you'll be able to find exactly what you need and have it delivered straight to your door in no time. Avoid disasters and stay fully prepared with Byron Electric. Shop with confidence, Kevin, CEO. So, this is an email that, as you can see, appeals to what people want, and that is to be entertained. At the same time, of course, we are selling. So, this doesn't mean being a jokester I'll talk about entertaining people. I don't mean being a jokester or a clown. Entertainment has many shapes and forms. And we are using these emails in multiple eCom industries. So it's just about finding what they can relate to. With some markets, we can be more explicit, and for others, such as weight loss supplements, for example, targeting older women, we will be more touchy-feely and use more storytelling, for example. Now, which in any case, this was kind of a storytelling email, but more personal, right? So stories are entertaining by nature. Here's another example. Entertainment also has a design aspect. So this is for a sauna outlet brand. And while most other brands will say like, buy our saunas, here are the best saunas you can buy, whatever. This whole email was themed around Egypt and Egyptian royalty. So we wrap the whole concept, the whole idea that we want to convey with ham. That is the point of this third step. It's just not about pitching or telling whatever you feel you need to tell. It's about what they want to read. So it's a small difference, but that changes and that defines what emails you send, the topics that you send, and how you say the things that you want to say. So you can say the same things, but you need to wrap it in ham, in a more entertaining envelope, in a more entertaining way, so it gets consumed. Because again, you can struggle trying to open their mouth and shove an email down their throat, or you can just wrap it in ham so it gets consumed. And that is exactly what we do. That is how we get our emails open, read, and get people buying from them. So that is the big idea of here. I have another video that I'm linking somewhere right now where I share more emails like this. Now, there's another benefit to using ham emails, and that is the frequency that you can send these emails. So for the regular emails that most brands send, the typical email that you picture when you subscribe to any brand, they feel like pitches. They feel like they're selling you something, right? And it doesn't take too many of those emails to get you want to unsubscribe, because you know what is coming next. It's just gonna be another pitch trying to shave a product down your throat. Now with this kind of email, because they are entertaining by nature, you can get away by sending more emails. And now the more emails you send, the more you sell. And that is simply because you get more chances to persuade someone to buy from you. And this ham emails let you bump up the frequency so you can send more emails, which mean more persuasion and also staying top of mind. Very simply, let's say this is again relating to this sauna brand. If they need to buy a sauna, they're gonna remember you first because they just receive an email from you and it makes them feel in a nice way, right? So this is step 3, ham emails, getting your emails consumed. Next, this is something that less than 1% of the brands I audit are doing. And those who do always have way above average sales. And this is something we did to get email sales to 44% of total sales. And this is very simply A/B testing. And more specifically, A/B testing your email flows. Now, let me tell you why this is important. This is a screenshot taken from Klaviyo. This is how A/B tests in Klaviyo look like. And you can see we have 3 variations of an email: email A, email B, and email C. So this is for a welcome email. So rather than just setting up one email, we set up 3 emails because this is just so important. The first emails someone gets from you in the welcome sequence are the ones with the higher open rate, the ones people are more likely to read and buy from. So this is the best place to optimize your emails. So we started here. Rather than just setting one email, we set up 3 different emails. You can see the open rates were higher for these two variations, variation 1 and 2, the open rates were higher and click rates were also higher here. Now, what's most important is these metrics right here. So this is what we care about. One of these variation could have gotten a higher open rate. We really don't care. What we care about is sales. So sales are right here. We have the placed order metric and we have the total sales that each variation generated. Now, this one, the bottom one, email 3, didn't get sent as much, and this is simply because Klaviyo was deciding which email to send more or less of depending on the result it was getting, which is, by the way, something I do not recommend. We did in this case, we just set up the setting to do it manually and then we decide which one is the winner, and that's a topic for another video. But as you can see, placed order, this is what we care about, and most importantly, average order value. You can see this is the number we actually care about: dollars per recipient, dollars per recipient, dollars per recipient. So this basically, this is Klaviyo making it more complicated than it should be. It means for every person that bought from this email, how much on average did they spend. So it's like the average order value for these emails. And as you can see, email 2, which is the clear winner, got an average order value of $481. Then the second variation got $365 and the loser got $265. So put it in another way. So if we divide 481 divided by 265, this is 1.8 higher sales. So if we had just set up email 3 and ran with that one, we would have gotten almost half the average order value. So we would have lost over $100,000 in sales, and then multiply that, because this will be just running forever for the future, and we will know that this was just generating half as many sales, just half as much as its true potential. So the fourth step here is A/B testing and improving your welcome flows every single month. It is just so important. And everyone running meta ads know this. So everyone running ads test multiple ads until they find a winner, and then they iterate and create new variations. But with emails, most brands and agencies take the easy way and set up just one variation per email and call it a day. So if you are setting up your flows where you have your first email and then you have your second email and then you have your third email, just don't set up one, set up 3 or 4 variations per each email and see which one converts better, because you could find one that converts twice higher, meaning you will have lost twice the sales if you didn't find this winner. So it's the same principle with running ads, but just for emails. But as you can see, each one of these things just compounds and adds up to each other until we can get email revenue to something like 44% of total sales or even higher. And now step 5 is probably one of the most important takeaways from this video. And it has certainly been one of the best strategies we've used with our clients, and it's conviction building. And this comes from the realization that when someone doesn't buy, it's rarely a price issue. It's rather because their conviction in the product and conviction in the brand are not high enough. And conviction is the sum of trust plus desire. So to get someone to buy, very simply, you have to stack enough trust and enough desire until they buy. So you have trust, you have desire, you have some more trust, and you have some more desire. And this is what takes someone to buy. Someone just doesn't buy sight unseen. This doesn't happen anymore. in 2024 and beyond, when people have been exposed to so many products, they have had so many bad experiences. So it's something natural that happens in any market, in any evolved market. So we have trust and we have desire. Now, each one of these, it's very simply a step. So the strategy here of conviction building is very simply stacking enough of these steps until we cross what is called the conviction threshold. When you stack enough trust, enough desire, you push someone over the conviction threshold and you get the sell. This means you can have trust but no desire and you will not get the sell. You can trust someone, but if you don't want what they are selling, you will not buy. On the other hand, you can desire something, but if you do not trust the person or you don't trust that the product does what it says it does, you will not buy the product. Everyone understands that, but with email marketing, it's very rare that you see brands focusing on building trust and building desire, besides just talking about features and benefits in their email. So there are 17 ways to build trust, at least seven ways to build desire. And this is the exact same strategy, conviction building, we use to get sales from lists as small as 5,000 subscribers and generate as much as $17,000, $16,000 with just one email without any sales or discount. So what this formula tells us is that no matter how much we lower the price, if the trust is not enough, if the desire is not enough, then price won't make a difference. So rather we should focus on building trust and building desire first. And regarding these 17 ways to build trust and 7 ways to build desire, subscribe because I have more video coming up on this topic. So this is step number 5, which allows you to get results like this out of just small lists. And next, following on this step, we have step number 6, which I've seen very few brands doing with email marketing. And when we started doing this, we saw that campaign and flow revenue increased immediately. And this is number 6, called trust acceleration. And this very simply means that as soon as someone joins your list, whether they're coming from checkout abandonment on through one of your pop-ups that you already optimized in step 1, as soon as someone lists, you should focus on building trust as soon as possible. Build that relationship from the first email that you send, because this is going to be critical to get the sale, as I just show you. Now, how do you do this? How do you build trust with email? So it's not simple, but there is a way, and it requires different steps. So for example, if I told you that you have to convince someone, a random person on the street, to buy this pen from you, and I give you 2 options. Option 1, you can use at most 10 words to persuade someone. Option B, you can use as much as 10,000 words. Which option are you gonna choose? Assuming they have your family hostage, assuming they have your dog hostage, and you don't wanna go full John Wick mode, right? So you can be confident you can persuade this random person on the street. Which option are you choosing? Option 1, just 10 words. Option B, 10,000 words. If you're a sane person, I hope you choose option B, unless you want to go John Wick mode and, have a nice film saga. So it's the same with emails. If we want to build trust, there's a lot of things we can say. We can tell stories that are more emotional or more fact-based, depending on your audience. But the thing is that it's gonna take a lot of room, a lot of written words to get that. So trust acceleration means making it easy for ourselves to get the task done. So you're seeing one very, very long email we send. This is a welcome email that we send and that we are sending, that we created for a client. And as you can see, like, this is probably 5 times longer than what regular brand will send. This is for a skincare brand, but this is what was required to get the job done. This is what we had to do to build enough trust in people joining the list and buying sight unseen. This is what it takes. So this takes good copywriting skills to keep people hooked and engaged all through this email, and hopefully pulling their heartstrings, getting emotional, because this is selling to an older woman demographic audience. So that was one of the goals. And this is a really long email that I'm simply not going to read, but this shows you what it takes to get someone to buy. So when you see a Klaviyo screenshot where 44% of sales are coming through email, right, and everything is pretty, there's some work that's being done on the back to get to that number, right? So this is what it takes. So we have, first of all, volume, and second, the timing. So you should focus on sending your emails as soon as someone joins your list, before they become cold, or worse, before they shop somewhere else. So both are bad options for you. So we want to win them as soon as possible. We want to build a relationship, and we want to build trust, and this is the way to do it. Now, we wouldn't send a week to send an email like this if it's so important. We will send this right away. And the second email, which will be like this, we will send this the next day. If we want to be even more hardcore, we could send this 12 hours later. And we have done that when needed. But this simply means do not assume getting a sale is simple. You know this already. But with email, this is what it takes to get a sale and to build trust as fast as possible. Because when we have built trust, we only need to focus on the desired building. And that is slightly simpler. And finally, this is something that honestly I was debating whether to add it or not. Our clients pay us a lot of money to ensure the results. And I don't want to share a tactic that's gonna be copied by all marketers, because we marketers ruin everything. So I'm gonna be vague on purpose a little bit, but this is number 7, and this is called ghost traffic, and making the most out of ghost traffic. So ghost traffic is people who visit your site. You're paying money to get these people over to your site, whether that's from Meta, whether that's from Google Ads, whatever it is. You're paying money to get visitors to your site. And if you don't get their emails, then you simply lost them, assuming they just leave, never to be seen again. Because this is ghost traffic, just visitors you can't contact. So this is one part of ghost traffic. And there's another part, which is people who are subscribers, but they are not cookied. So this is a cookie, and they are not cookied. To trigger a flow with Klaviyo, you need to have them cookied. You have to have the Klaviyo cookie so you can track what they are doing on your website. If you don't have this, they can browse your website, they can view products, and even get to checkout and not trigger any of your email flows. And that is a problem, because you already have your flows optimized. We already discussed that. And now you want to have as much people going to these new flows. But luckily for us, there's a way to retarget these lost visitors who didn't give you their emails via email, and people who are not cookied via email as well with Klaviyo. Now, these are third-party apps, and if you're watching this in the United States, then you are in luck, because Europe hates money. Yeah, they hate money. But if you are in the United States, you are in luck, because there are apps you can use to reach people who visit your website and didn't give you their emails, and you can use apps to target people who visit your website, are already in your email list, so they are warmer, but they are not cookied, so normally you wouldn't know who they are, but you can know with some third-party apps. And again, I'm being a little vague here, but send me an email to matthias@email-engineers.com with the subject line "Ghost" for more info. So again, that is subject line Ghost, and my email is Matthias, and then at emailengineers.com. But this honestly requires some skill to make it work. So ideally you want to be at over $200,000 a month, so you can use this. And this is just an example of a flow we set up using Ghost traffic for a client. So you can see open rates are solid, so there's no problem with deliverability when done right. Click rate solid, and most importantly, placed order rate and sales are super solid. 2.3% on email like this is awesome, and we are waiting 30 minutes because of trust acceleration, and we're sending an email through with even higher open rates, even higher click rate, because I remember this was a really nice email, and even higher placed order rate at 3.7% and $30,000 in sales. So this again, here's my email, and there's the subject line to use. Now we covered a lot, so let me give you a quick recap of all the action that we've been through in this video, right? So we started with pop-ups, then we went into designs, then we went into ham emails, then we went into A/B testing your workflows, because you can get twice the sales and even higher if you build and you find winners. Then we went into conviction building, then went into trust acceleration and what it takes to get the sale, and then we went into ghost traffic. So all in all, a quick visual representation of all of this. You have your pop-ups getting your traffic, and these are optimized, and then you have ghost traffic, but again, this is for another video. And then we put this traffic into the email machine, and then what do we talk about? We have conviction building emails, and we have trust plus desire that we have to build. So that is the what. Now the how. So how do we say the things that we want to say so they get consumed? Again, we by nature just try to give away the antibiotic pill, force feed it because we think that is the best way to do it, right? For example, if you're trying to educate someone, we think because we went through school and through university that straight up giving the facts and telling things is how you better communicate ideas. And it's rarely the case. It's just about entertaining people while delivering your message. That is ham emails. That is getting your emails consumed, so you deliver your message along the way. And then how to do it? You also make sure every single design that you create is done as good as possible. So we have the what to talk about, how you say it, and then we want to find our winners, because that is how you scale sales to as high as 44% or even higher. And that is through A/B testing week after week, month after month. So that is what it takes to get a brand to 44% of sales coming through emails month after month after they were stuck at 23%. Now consider subscribing, because I have new videos coming where I double down on these concepts. And if you want to learn more email strategies and tactics that I won't share on YouTube because I want to keep them more private, sign up to my daily newsletter, Email Moneytopia. The link is going to be right in the description, and you'll get a bonus where I share a secret sequence we're using with clients to generate tens of thousands of dollars a month that no one else is using. So do that, get that free bonus, and then consider watching this other video that YouTube thinks you're gonna like.